Hello, sunshines. Ooh. Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host, Heather, known as Bunnyfish on all sorts of internet places. Today is Tuesday, the 26th of May, and this is the Summer Sock Basket Challenge update number 2. So this is like a little vloggy update where I'll update here and there about how I'm doing on my Summer Sock Basket Challenge, which will be linked below in the description box if you missed the introduction video. Because it's the start of a new week, there was no school yesterday. It's the start of a new week. I feel like I should show you where I'm at. So I am making a pair of socks using Fiber Nymph Dye Works Strong DK in the Luna Moth colorway. And on the skinny stripes, I'm purling the stripe so that it gives it a little texture. Not purling it all the way around on the bottom of the foot. I'm sure there's a pattern like this somewhere on the internets, but I'm not using a pattern. I'm just using a stitch count I know I work, and I noticed that the stripes were skinny, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to purl those. That'll be cute. I am through the gusset on the second sock. I'm making these for my best friend, and I am seeing her this weekend, so I really want to finish these. It should be no problem, honestly. Like, that's not a lot of knitting. It's only 48 stitches around, and the rounds are like take up more space because it's bigger yarn. So it's totally possible I could finish this sock today, depending on how much pocket knitting I have at school. I don't know how much pocket knitting I'm going to have at school. I don't remember what lessons I'm teaching today. So, yeah, we haven't been in school in 4 days. I don't remember. I also brought my car knitting project in to show you. So this is using 716 knit 716 sock in the Pam Trans Ram colorway. And I have this sock into the gusset. Just barely 2 rounds into the gusset, but the gusset has started. It's picked up. I'm through the heel. And this sock lives in my car for when I get stopped at a really long train or if I run my kids up to a store or something. And last up, I have a project that is like technically it started, but I don't count this as the start of the project because I really hate starting projects. I usually cast them on and then put them aside for several days because I just don't like starting new things. Even though I like I like working on the thing. So this is what I'm going to pick up later this week, maybe tomorrow, after I finish Luna Moth. Maybe I'll just pick up my car knitting. I don't know. It's like pre-started, I guess, so that when I'm ready for it, I can. So this, barely a start, is 716 knit in I Happen to Be a Very Powerful Man Witch. So it's a self-striping. It is kind of a gold and a red, and I'm making this for my aunt who lives far away, so it is a much bigger stitch count than the socks that I typically make. I guess that's not completely true. It would be similar in size to the socks that I make my boyfriend or my oldest kiddo. So a lot of stitches. They're just going to be shorties, but that's what started. That's how I'm starting out this vlog and this week. I don't know how long this vlog is going to be, but you'll know because it's right down there at the bottom. But hopefully in the time of this vlog, I can finish the Luna Moth socks and these socks. That would be the goal. It is Sunday, the 31st of May, and I gave my best friend the socks that I made out of this Fiber Nymph Dye Works Luna Moth colorway today. And I had her try it on to make sure it fit. And I did. She was like, oh yeah, these are going to be great. And she's so cute. She has a special bag that she puts all of the socks that I made her in for laundry. She's like, because I want them to last for a really long time, so I wash them, in the bag. It was very cute. She went on and on about the socks I made her, which was really, really nice, because some of them I did not make specifically for her. Last year, I let her decide between some of the pairs of the socks in my drawer. Not all of them. Some of them I was too attached to, but like all of the ones that I was like, eh. Anyway, so the socks fit. So I do not need to hold on to these for any reason. It is pretty late already. It's 9 p.m. But I do have a video to edit tonight. So I'm going to see if I can use up the rest of this yarn tonight. It's DK weight, so it should go fast. My plans for it are a mitered square in my blanket, which means I'm going to be making ultimately less rows in my blanket because my blanket is fingering weight predominantly, and this is DK weight. So less rows, less stitches. And then I want to make a half hexie for my youngest's blanket. And again, that means less stitches than I would normally use because it's DK weight. And then it's going to go in my jelly roll-ish blanket. So let's see if I can get that all done while I'm editing. Hello, sunshines. It's the 2nd of June, and I couldn't help myself. I needed to cast on the leg warmer because I needed to work with this beautiful yarn. It's just, I couldn't not. So it's the Charmed colorway of Miss Babs Yowza Mini. And I looked in my pattern collection and I only had 3 leg warmer patterns, and none of them were for DK. They're all for fingering weight, which is fine. So I picked one. It's called the Prima Leg Warmers by Sarah Wilson, who's the Sexy Knitter. I picked it because it's the most lacy, and lace stretches yarn further than anything else. So that's what I'm making, and I cast it on, and I went up to a size 6 needle. It calls for a size 4 for fingering weight, so I went up to a 6 for this DK weight, and I removed a pattern repeat. So hopefully that works out for me. I couldn't not. It's so pretty. I'm sorry, I just had to come back to talk about this because yesterday I was telling you how I had cast on and worked the first round of the I'm a Powerful Man Witch sock, and how it wasn't really started because it was the first round, and then I just told you that I couldn't wait to start this, and so I started it. You know what the difference is? I've worked 2 rounds on this. Is it 2? Hold on. Yeah, I've worked 2 rounds, so it's actually really started. Isn't that so silly? Hello, sunshines. It is June 3rd. I have used up, I'm going to obviously have to pull some of these stitches back so I can tie my magic knot. But I wasn't really paying attention, and then I was like, oh, that's the end of the Luna Moth from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. So I officially used that completely up, and I have the first sock out of Pam's a Transram at the toe. So I will be finishing this today. It's the morning before school, so I'll be finishing this sock today and reattaching yarn to this sock and working on it. Hello, sunshines. It's the 18th of June, and Pam's a Transram is fully worked in. I'm not gonna lie, seeing the family socks together is so cute. I think that this is definitely going to be a thing that I do more of. It is gone out of my stash. Yay! Very exciting. And I have 2 summer sock basket projects going. This one is 716 knit, 716 sock. And I happen to be a very powerful man witch. And yes, this does give me essence of Sloppy Joe's, if I'm being honest. So I've started the first sock. It is going to be a pair of shorties for my aunt who lives far away. I'm through the heel, working on the gusset. No rush on these, although I do kind of want them done by the end of the month, but like if they're not done by the end of the month, it's fine. But I think it would be nice if I was able to do that. And I have started, they're not socks, but whatever. They're part of the challenge. Leg warmers. I'm making the Prima leg warmers by the Sexy Knitter for my oldest kiddo. This is Miss Babs Yowza Mini in the Charmed colorway. And the sock, I'm kind of carrying it around with me. It's my pocket knitting, or, you know, my small project that I can take around with me places. And the leg warmer, I'm just working 1 repeat a day. It's only 4 rounds, so it's pretty quick, but it's growing without having to really work on it or think about it, which is lovely. Hello, sunshines. It's June 25th, and I finished one of my sock basket projects that I did not anticipate finishing this month. It wasn't even on my radar of things that I wanted to work on, really. And this is all I have left from the skein. So I'm going to quick work it into the Jelly Roll blanket, and then this whole skein will be done. Hey, sunshines. The I'm a Very Powerful Man Witch socks are on my list of things to finish in June. Today is June 26th. It's a shorty sock. I can do this. But I'm feeling uninspired. It's going to be fine. It's just, I put off doing the heel for like 2 days. I just didn't want to do it. So I just forced myself to do it. The heel is done. I'm picking up gusset stitches. Then it's just stockinette. So it'll be perfect for working on while I'm reading. I just don't want to. I don't know why. But I have 2 sock projects planned in mind for my sock basket yarns for July. And I'm really excited about them. So I'm going to allow myself to cast on one. I really want to make a pair of Mystic Spiral socks for my best friend using 716 knit 716 sock in Welcome to Planet Pocket Protector for my best friend. I think this is going to be so super fun, and I think I have a neon yellow somewhere that I might use for an afterthought heel. Maybe. But I'm super excited for the Mystic Spiral. It's one of my go-to patterns. It's really, really fun for self-striping. I just really, really like it. And I haven't made a Mystic Spiral in a little while. So I'm looking forward to that. So that is something I want to finish in July. And then the other project that I want to start and finish in July, or in June and finish in July, whatever. I want to make a pair of Ridgeback socks using this Mustache Yarn Firework colorway. Ridgeback is my pattern. It uses Intarsia in the round. It's so super fun. I just need to decide if I want to use black for my contrast color or gray for my contrast color. I think either could be really, really cute with the rainbow. So I don't know. We'll see where I get to. But I will allow myself to cast on that once I finish the gusset of this sock. Because I really do want to finish this sock this month. I have today and then 4 days. So I can do it. It's not even that much knitting. I'm just feeling uninspired by it. Probably because it's a vanilla sock. And I feel like I've made a lot of vanilla socks recently. And I just need something not vanilla. I also kind of want to make a Cookie A sock using my minis. I don't know if I'll be starting that in July or not. And I also don't know what Cookie A pattern I would want to use, but I'm kind of thinking that's what I want to do. With the pair of socks finished for my aunt, I have rewound the yarn into a new cake. And as you can see, there's a lot left. There are 20 stripes, or 18 full stripes and 2 partial stripes, or somewhere in between that. And that's a lot. That's a lot of yarn. I don't want a shorty sock for myself out of this yarn. Nothing wrong with the yarn. Love 716 knit. Definitely a dyer who, first of all, Jenna is my friend in real life. And second of all, I love her yarns. Like, most of her colors really speak to me. I like her speckles. I like her self-striping. The quality is great. I don't think I've ever had a 716 knit yarn fail. But these are not my colors. So I also don't particularly want this in my scrappy blankets in mass quantity. So I have a plan. I am going to use this yarn to make a sock for my oldest kiddo. I don't think this is enough to make a full sock. So what I'm going to do, 20 stripes would probably be enough for me, but my oldest kiddo has bigger feet than I do, is I have these 2 yarns from my leftovers stash, scrap stash, whatever you want to call it. This is a Ba La Jolla. It's 100% superwash. And this is a Premier Yarns Serenity sock. So it has nylon and bamboo and wool. So my plan is I'm going to cast on a cuff out of this yarn and then work this 716. So cuff in Ba La Jolla, leg in 716, heel in Serenity sock. Work as much of the foot as I can in, actually, we'll see. We'll see when I get to the heel. Maybe I will, depending on how many stripes I have left of this yarn, I might start striping the La Jolla with the 716, because I don't want to finish out with the La Jolla on the ball of the foot, because I know my kid wears through the ball of the foot of their sock. Maybe I'll color block this by the heel. I don't know. We have to see how far this gets me on the leg. Okay, let's start there, and then I'll figure out how I want to do the foot. I'm definitely going to use this as the heel, but the La Jolla is going to end up on the foot somewhere. I just don't know where that's going to be, but that's my plan for this, because I got to use up this whole yarn. That's part of the the summer sock challenge. So I got to do it. So I'm going to. And this, working it with these minis, these leftovers, is going to make me so much more happy than making myself a shorty sock or putting it all in scrappy blankets. Hello, sunshines. it is currently Tuesday, July 7th, and I think we should wrap up this part of the check-in. So, in the last clip, I was talking about making this sock, which I did, and I am very, very pleased about how it turned out. So let's discuss what I actually did for this sock. I cast on the cuff with the La Jolla, and then I knit essentially a stripe repeat, even though it doesn't look like a stripe repeat because I split the gold-ish colored stripes in the middle. Like I literally folded the yarn in half on the stripe, like pulled off the whole stripe, folded it in half and cut it in the middle for this section and this section, and put La Jolla stripes in between. And then I was so close to the heel where I would have split right here that I was like, let me just get to the heel. I used the Premier Serenity sock to put in a heel. And then I had a little tiny piece of red, this red yarn from somewhere else in the skein. I don't exactly remember where. So I kind of like helically striped-ish the red from the working yarn plus that other red, which only gave me 2 stripes, but makes this stripe look way more even because when you get to the gusset, there's a lot of stitches and it can kind of make your stripes really like puny. So before I got to the heel, I provisionally cast on the stitches right here and did 4 stripes. So 1, 2, 3, a half a stripe, 4 stripes in the 716 yarn. Put on Premier Serenity sock for the toe. Oh yes, I had a battle with my fountain pen yesterday, and it won. Well, we both won. After I finished the toe, then I came back, did the heel, did the gusset. And then once I ran out of yarn, I put in Ba La Jolla to knit the rest of the number of rounds that I needed for the sock length that I needed, and Kitchenered it closed. Do I think that that is the very best way to make a sock? No. It was very fiddly. Do I think it was worth it for the effect? Yes. And if I was making a scrappy sock that I didn't have to play yarn chicken with, would I have done it differently? Sure. But my goal was to use up this whole this whole leftover, and I did. The only things I have left are I need to finish putting a nugget into my bias strip blanket, but it's in all of the other blankets except this half hexie needs to be stuffed. So this yarn is out of my stash. It's gone. It's great. And I really like the way that this sock turned out. I think it's super, super fun. So, in an ideal world, if I were to make this again and knew exactly how much yarn I had, I would just work straight from the cuff down the foot and not have to Kitchener. But I do think that that's a really valuable technique to have in your back pocket if you know you want to use up everything of something and you don't know what that's going to look like. In the last clip, I also talked about starting 2 other pairs of socks for July, which I have. This is the Mystic Spiral sock by Nova Rix Rubinski. And I'm through the leg. I have started the heel. I'm pretty close to finished with the heel flap. I am using a contrast color. I got some beautiful yarn from Rainier Roses yarn, and I had a different scrap of, I don't know, an opal or something.
maybe not Opal, something commercial. And I asked my best friend how she felt, because the sock is for her, about contrast heels and maybe toes in the colors, and if she liked that idea, which color she liked. And she picked this Limelight color by Rainier Roses, and I think it's so fun. I think it's super, super fun. And then I also started, for me, Mustache Yarns, the Fireworks colorway. Mustache Yarn, no S at the end. Just barely started. Oh, that's the wrong way. Barely started. I am making a sock pattern out of the 52 weeks of socks, modifying it slightly. I will put the pattern, a picture of the pattern and the name on the screen. And I decided to start the socks in tandem, mostly so that I wouldn't be tempted to start another new pair of socks, because I only have 4 pairs of sock knitting needles, or 4 sets of the 9-inch circulars. So you might be like, oh, that's only 3 that are in use. Untrue. But I did start those, and it is possible that, well, I was going to say it might be possible when it's time to knit the shorty out of this, but I would just use the same needle as the normal pair of socks to knit the shorty out of this. So that was a thought, but it was wrong. Anyway, let's look at the basket, because it looks very different than it did at the beginning of this endeavor. So there's not very much left in it, actually. This sock was started before the challenge started, was not part of the challenge originally, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to finish it this pair this summer. So this is the Diamondback sock by Kirsten Hall. The yarn is from a 2013 club. It's called Ferris Wheel. It's from Spartacus Dyes, who is not dying, hasn't died in a very long time. But it's beautiful. I am about to do the heel on this sock. I want the first sock of this done in July, and the second sock started. That seems doable. And then first stretch, oh wait, before we get to stretch goals, this actually was one of the original picks for the challenge. It is 716 knit, 716 sock. If you can escape the womb, you can escape anything. And it's this fun yellow and teal colorway. Those are going to be socks for my boyfriend. Probably shorties. I don't know. I'll talk to him about it. But vanilla, because he likes vanilla socks. So those will be quick. I might cast, if I'm going to take a needle from these socks, it's going to be to cast this on so that I have a plain sock to work on while I'm walking around or something, but we'll see. Then I had stretch goal number 1, which is this Miss Babs Yowza Mini. It's DK weight yarn called Rainbow Trout. And I don't know what I would make with it, but I did buy it this year, so that does mean that I do want to use it this year, because I'm trying to use yarn that I buy within the year that I buy it. I'm not saying I can't buy yarn. I'm just saying if I'm going to buy it, I should probably use it, because I do have a very big stash that I could have pulled from instead. But I did buy this with a gift card from a friend. So, you know, whatever. Second stretch goal is to use these minis to make myself a pair of socks. I kind of want to do a cookie A sock. Maybe. I just think that would be fun. I think it would be a really, really fun sock. But I have to really think about that, because I just do. And then something that I just added to the basket is this bag, which I'm going to pour out so you can see the yarns. These are some commercial yarns. And I thought that maybe I should make my oldest kiddo some scrappy socks out of them. And I still think that. I think that these are good yarns for hard wearing socks. So if I finish all of the others in the basket in the next, 7 weeks until this challenge is over for me? Yeah. If I finish everything else, I'm going to make some scrappy socks for my kiddo. Not matching, just scrappy. I use the same formula for all of my oldest kiddo socks, but I don't make them matching socks because they very rarely wear matching socks. So yeah, that's what the basket has morphed into since the beginning of May. And I am really enjoying it.